Welcome back to Fast-Paced Highlights. It's IFL Quick Hits, Week 2. Let's start in Massachusetts, where the Quad City Steamwheelers come to fight for water rights with the Pirates. Opening drive, Steamwheelers faced with 4th and 8, and Daquan Neal finds Jared Ware with the big catch. Ware tries to finish the drive, but fumbles out of the end zone. It's Pirates' ball. But Bubba Arslanian wants those points. He tips it to himself and makes a house call. Full steam ahead. Pirates' Kenji Bahar leads the charge with a creative jet sweep to Isaac Zico, who gets skinny along the wall. That would lead to a tush-push for the score. It's mid-second quarter. It's Daquan Neal on the scramble. He finds pay dirt. They'd go for 2, 14-7 Steamwheelers. Faced with 4th and 3 and only 11 seconds in the half, the Pirates need something big. How about a perfect Kenji Bahar throw and an insane catch from Tio Redding? Heave-ho, Pirates! Second half, the give is to Jordan Vesey, and it's a fumble! Ball in the waters recovered by Marquise Waters. And Dominique Roberto scores on the run to put the Pirates back on top. Next drive, Neal fires a bullet to Jordan Vesey for the Steamwheelers tutty. The Vesey and Neal connection was not done. A hard pump fake and deep ball with a strong TD reception for Vesey's second. But they never say die, Pirates, fight. As Bahar finds Thomas Owens, leading to a second Bahar touchdown run carry with just under 5 to play. They need a big stop. They try a swib kick, and Cameron Harrell with an elegant hurdle who goes all the way for the special teams touchdown, and the Quad City Steamwheelers move to 2-0 and have a date with the Iowa Barnstormers on Saturday. While the Mass Pirates fall to 0-2 and will take a week off to make adjustments, let's go to Green Bay, where the 0-1 Blizzard host the aforementioned Iowa Barnstormers on a brand new football field. Opening drive, it's Kamani Clark giving the Blizzard the early lead. Iowa opening possession on 4th down. Quarterback Collazo goes deep and finds Keon Williams for the score. Blizzard wastes no time to dump pass to Clark, who wants more of that pay dirt. A house call for the running back. Another 4th down for Iowa, and Collazo goes deep for former Blizzard wide receiver Keyshawn Taylor, but Kevin Ransom gets the interception. Later, Collazo goes deep for Keon Williams again, and they've got 2 on the deep ball. And Keon Williams takes it in for a second quarter hat trick. And the first Barnstormer lead. After a Blizzard touchdown comes the craziest sequence of the weekend. A bobbled snap. Gets snapped a second time. Collazo rolls left, fakes out everyone, then rolls right, and fires a deep ball that's intercepted by Kevin Ransom again. But Iowa receiver Bracey doesn't give up on the play, refuses to pay the ransom, and takes the hostage football right back, recovering it for a wild touchdown. This is the Indoor Football League, ladies and gentlemen. Right before the half, Max Myler says, "Hey Clark, hat tricks are cool, have one." Throwing across his body, Kamani Clark with his 3rd. Second half, Kimo Clark wants his 4th. He gets his 4th. 4th quarter, why have 4 touchdowns when you can have 5? Iowa trying to make something happen, but Allen Henry pushes through a block, sacks Collazo for a Green Bay safety. Ensuing possession has Max Myler taking it himself over the wall for a touchdown. Blizzard up big. With just under 3 minutes, the Barnstormers won't give up as Collazo finds Bracey for another score. It's an 11-point game. Gabriel Rui's onside kick is touched by Green Bay and recovered by Iowa. Wow! With under a minute to play, Collazo finds Keon Williams for his 4th touchdown of the game, and now it's a 5-point game. Gabe Rui has another great kick, but Lowell Patron goes up high, secures it for Green Bay, and secures the 52-47 victory for the now 1-1 Blizzard, who host the defending champs on Sunday. On Saturday, introducing the first ever game of the Fisher's Freight, they went to Prescott Valley to take on the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Arizona football hero Sia Burley gives the call to CJ Fowler, who responds by giving Naz Nation their first points of the season. What a run. Second quarter, Fowler fakes out everybody, including the camera, and runs hard to the 1. And Marvin Kenzie finishes the drive. It's 14-zip Wranglers. On 4th down, the Fisher's Freight get their first ever touchdown, courtesy of Jaya Wright. And you know what they say about freight trains? Once they start, get out of the way. The pitch is loose, picked up by John Lewis, who takes it to pay dirt. But just before the half, it's CJ Fowler finding Kobe Smith and the Wranglers have an 8-point lead at the break. Coach Dixie Wooten makes halftime adjustments for the Freight. Result is John Lewis refuses to go down before he crosses the goal line. Strong run from the running back. Naz on offense. The ball slips out of his hands and it's taken by the big man. Rumbling like a freight train to the house goes Isaiah Reed. Near the end of the third quarter, it's Jaya Wright on the QB draw with nothing but green in front, and the Freight extend their lead. The Wranglers go for it on 4th and 17, and it's picked off by Devin Hafford, who delivers a house call for Fishers, extending their lead. A quarterback switch has Christian Arambidi connecting with Marvin Kinsey for a big-time gain, and Kinsey finishes it for the touchdown. The Wranglers would get the ball back, but the ball slips out of Arambidi's hand. He falls on it, but Christopher Oakley gets credited for a safety, and the Fishers Freight are victorious in their first ever game. They'll have their first home game on Friday against the hot Tulsa Oilers. Staying in Arizona, we have the Tucson Sugar Skulls visiting the defending champion Arizona Rattlers. After Tucson's QB was placed on IR, they start with a different one, and Ethan Castleberry picks him off, and he could go all the way. Touchdown Rattlers as the drone cam reveals a packed house of excited fans. Back-to-back championship quarterback Dalton Sneed on the read option pitches to Jamal Miles for another Rattler score. On offense, Jordan Ambrose with the dump pass to longtime veteran Devontae Sapp Lynch, brother of Marshawn Lynch, who takes it in for a Sugar Skulls touchdown. Rattlers possession, and Dalton Sneed's first touchdown pass goes to his fellow quarterback, Larry Tripp Harrington, for the score. At halftime, Rattler legend quarterback Nick Davila gets inducted into the Arizona Rattlers Hall of Fame. Great player, great moment. Second half, Jordan Ambrose plus great blocking equals 6 for Tucson. Solid defense and a run game affords Jordan Ambrose another TD run in the third quarter. They were down by 22 at the half, and after this 2-point conversion, it's a 7-point game. To end the third, Dalton Sneed goes deep, and Hines Tyler, are you kidding me? Great coverage by the DB, but Tyler with an amazing one-handed touchdown grab. Dalton Sneed, Isaiah Houston, lethal. Arizona leads big. Sugar Skulls make an effort of it, but Rashi Hodge goes up for the interception, and to pour salt on the wound, Sneed on the read option fakes the pitch, and with pure muscle and determination gives the Rattlers another. And the defending champs look like the team to beat early on. A big win to open the season before they travel to Green Bay. Sunday Night Football. We had the San Antonio Gunslingers at the Bay Area Panthers. Both teams with big offseason moves. The Gunslingers signed a new kicker in Tyler Hoodle, and his first kick goes deep and right down the middle for a 2-point deuce. First play from scrimmage for the Panthers. Jones is sacked by Jones and Jones. Jordan and Ulrich gather up Josh, and that's how you keep up with the Joneses. 2 plays later, Josh Jones goes for the home run deep ball, and oh my Josh. Josh Tomas reels it in for an amazing Panthers touchdown. Bay Area drives, and the give is to Tosin Oyakanmi, who fights and gets down to the 1, leading to the jet sweep for Josh Tomas. Gunslingers during the 1-minute drill, it's Malik Henry to Austin Upshaw. Next play, it's Henry finding Glenn Gibbons in the back of the end zone. Bay Area up 14-11 at the break. Second half, San Antonio drives, and Malik Henry to Glenn Gibbons again. He hangs on to the ball, falling over the wall. 18-14, and the squib kick gets a nice bounce and rolls into the end zone, and Chris Page tackles the receiver in the end zone. It's a rouge, and another point. Another Tyler Hoodle field goal makes it an 8-point lead. Bay Area's Josh Jones throws over the middle, and it's intercepted by last year's Defensive Player of the Year, Riverius Rivers. Malik Henry would find Austin Upshaw for another touchdown. Guns up by 2 scores. Under 3 to play. Gunslingers ball, and the Panthers need a miracle. And it's a fumble recovered by Bay Area. On 4th and 23, needing another miracle. It's Josh to Josh connection again. Jones to Tomas. It's a 1-score game with barely over a minute to play. Axel Perez on the onside kick, and it's recovered by the Panthers. Guess who? There's 13 seconds, and it's 4th down. Josh Jones is on the run. He scrambles, fires a Hail Mary, and the ball pinballs off players and finally falls incomplete. What a game. San Antonio Gunslingers improved to 1-1. going into their bye, while Bay Area looks to even things out when the San Diego Strike Force come to town this weekend. Speaking of the San Diego Strike Force, they hosted the Vegas Nighthawks on Monday Night Football. New era, new arena, new season for these two playoff teams. San Diego's opening drive. Nate Davis, the former San Francisco 49er, finds former Denver Bronco Dallas Daniels for the score. Strike Force with the ball again, and the O-line opens up a hole large enough for a van to drive through. Trayvon Van, in fact. It's 14-zip at the end of the first. Vegas on 4th and goal from the 15. Run it with last year's MVP, Jerome Johnson. Why not? Touchdown Nighthawks. Next drive, it's the Davis to Daniels connection again for another Strike Force touchdown. Vegas is sometimes known for its dancing, and Jerome Johnson shows he can do it with fancy footwork and 6 more points. How about some IFL mathematics? How many points can be scored in 30 seconds? Here's 6 from Davis to Mike Kerrigan. Ernesto Lacayo makes it 7. Johnson goes deep and finds Quentin Randolph. Adds 6, we're up to 13. And Ernesto Lacayo from 37 yards out hits the buzzer beater field goal. That's 16 points in 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Indoor Football League. Second half, Nate Davis finds Gurney Sloan and the Strike Force are up 20, leading to Quentin Randolph with a one-handed touchdown grab. Wow. Late in the third, it's a direct snap to Antonio Wimbush, and the Nighthawks are within 9. Mid-fourth quarter, a jet sweep with Daquan Dudley gets Vegas 6, and Dudley gets the Hawks 2 more. Strike Force up by 1 point. Nate Davis fires deep for Kerrigan, who's got the score, and no! They say the ball came out. 4th down. Davis throws to Kerrigan, who's looking for a flag, but will not get it. 4th and 6 with just over a minute, and Quentin Randolph goes up and into the laps of fans, his 3rd TD of the game, and first Vegas lead. What a play. 2-point try to Marion Terry, Vegas up by 7. San Diego with a chance to tie it. The ball slips up into the air, and it's intercepted by Lorenzo Hernandez. And the Vegas Nighthawks come back to win it 48-41. They'll travel to Jacksonville to fight Sharks, while the Strike Force go to the Bay for a match with the Panthers. All of this coming weekend's games can be watched live, plus much more on the IFL Network.